always an honor, always a privilege. Mirko Cro Cop doesn't do a lot of interviews, my friend, so it always feels very special when he's on the program. We've been keeping him waiting long enough. Let's go to Croatia right now and welcome in the legend, the one and only Mirko Cro Cop himself. Mirko, are you there?
I'm here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good evening to you as well, Mirko. So, wow, what a pleasure.
It's afternoon there, right?
That's right. That is right. So the last time we spoke, Mirko, was around a year ago, and you had just won that tournament in Rizin. And I hear you are a year later, and you'll be returning to Rizin on December 31st against Tsuyoshi Kosaka. Why did you decide to return? Because not that long ago, as we all know, you walked away from the sport. Why are you fighting a year later?
No, I didn't. No, I never walked away from the sport. First of all, Ariel, I'm sick of too much explanation. But I told after Rizin that I would like to make a farewell fight. The idea was to do it with Fedor. But Fedor supposed to win Matt Mitrion. So when he lost that option. That he wasn't an option anymore, and I was talking the whole summer practically, with Rizin, and we were trying to find solution. What is the best for me? At the end of the day, they asked me to do it on the New Year Eve. That's the biggest event they have. But on next year, why next year? Because they hold a heavyweight Grand Prix every second year. So they will have a heavyweight Grand Prix next year. The winner will be declared in September 30. So they want me to fight the winner of Rizin heavyweight Grand Prix for the new year in 2018. And then I agreed. But in the meantime, I have to do 1 or 2 fights to keep my body in shape. I'm not 25, I'm not 30 anymore, and that's the only reason why I'm going to do this, because I need interval trainings. I just started last week in it's so hard, 30 seconds or 1 minute and a half boxing, and then wrestling. Boxing, I'm doing 10-minute round, that is necessary to keep my body in shape, and after so many fights, in my age, I can't do it just for fun, So I have to see target in front of me, and that's fine. So I will fight Kosaka December 31st now, and most likely, is it April or July? I will have a second one, and then for the next year, and it will be it.
Wow. So, I mean, that's a pretty active schedule. So the one on December 31st is just a one-off. It's not part of a tournament. And then you're saying next year the tournament that will be your farewell, the tournament?
I won't participate. I won't participate tournament. I will fight with the tournament winner.
Okay. And the event next end of the year in Japan, that will be your farewell fight? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 2018,
Okay, wow.
Listen, I said it many times. This is a fight. Sometimes I'm funny to myself, but at the end of the day, sometimes end needs to come, and I think this time it will be it, because it is harder and harder for me to motivate for trainings, and it is harder and harder for me to do those interval trainings and to keep my body in a perfect shape. I can't afford myself to lose anymore, I need to be in a really good shape, and I turned 43 in September, and the next year I will be 44. I will turn 44, and I will be already in 45th years. When I have a fever, I think it's the edge,
How is your body feeling these days?
Well, to tell you the truth, I just finished my workout half an hour, 45 minutes ago, and I just came. I'm waiting in the front of doctor's office, to have some kind of a massage. Not relaxing massage, but he's pressing my body with elbows, It's very painful. It takes maybe 20 minutes, just kind of super hard pressure, every part of the body, legs, foot, arms, shoulders, to relax my body. And but more or less, I feel good. I healed my knee. I had a lot of trouble with my knee, which was injured since 2008, and but it's okay now. It's okay. I had some kind of surgery. Surgery at the end of January, and it healed much better than I expected, and I'm so happy. Not just because of the fights, but because of the quality of everyday life.
So you have a situation where you are not going to fight within a year, and as you said, you're getting a little bit older, and it's getting harder to motivate. What did you do this past year? Like, what other than I'm sure you keep in shape, but how did you spend the past year?
I had that surgery, and to fix my knee, and after that, I wasn't allowed to do running, jogging for 2.5 months only, almost, and but I was able to do bicycle, and I was doing boxing, and little bit wrestling, and I was maintaining my body, but to maintain the body for the fighting shape, I can't skip interval trainings. Interval trainings is something that every fighter needs to do if you want to keep your body in a fighting shape, And it is so hard, Ariel, to do it just like that. I can't. At least me. I can't do it just like that, Interval training means today what I was doing. I start with a high week. It's a sparring week, and I spar 3 rounds. First round 10 minutes, and then 2 5-minute rounds with 3 opponents changing on me. They're all younger. One is 27, one is 30. They're all heavier. They're all taller than I am, much younger, and they are kicking my ass. They're trying. At least they are trying to kick my ass, and that's what keeps me sharp. I have to survive 20 minutes, and they're changing every 2 minutes. Those kind of trainings I need to keep my body in shape. But it is so hard to do just like that. Just to keep your body in shape. So I need to have fights scheduled. To do it. And if I don't do it for 2 years, it will be too dangerous. In age of 40, 45 to fight with some young lion who will win the heavyweight Grand Prix, it will be too dangerous. I don't want to take that kind of risk. I don't want to take that kind of risk. So I will do that 2 fights in between to keep my body in shape. And I have to prepare like never for that fight in 31st of December, 2018.
Now that you've fought a couple times for Rizin, how would you compare it to the old days of Pride? I mean, you've decided to sort of end the career with them whenever that time comes. I'm sure you could go to Bellator. I'm sure there's many suitors for you. Why do you like it?
Yeah, I feel the smell of Pride. Same stuff, even same doctors. When I came there for doctor check, it was the same old faces I've been meeting during my Pride days. Saitama Super Arena, the same dressing room, which I was always using for warm up in my Pride days. So many memories, so many good memories. It wakes up, and I just feel good there. I just feel good. Just feel good.
It's nostalgic, right? I mean, you just feel like you're back home, the good old days.
Yeah, true. I feel so good, and this time for the new year, I will take my son first time with me. I will take him I want him to see Japan. I want him to see and to feel the atmosphere. He will turn 15 in March.
Wow.
So, and now he's big enough. I'm taking him with me this time, and he will be one of the cornermen too. I just want him to feel that adrenaline, and he's so happy because of that.
Wow, he's going to be in your corner. What's that like for you as his dad to have him there? Do you think you'll be more nervous?
No. I'm healthy. I'm healthy now, and I will be prepared. Excellent, And I'm scared of no one. When I'm very good prepared, when there is no injuries. I mean, listen, Ariel, fight is a fight, but I will decrease the risk on minimum. With the super intensive trainings, and I will be. Even now, I'm in a more than solid shape. Because I was training since I had the last fight. I was training. Even next day after surgery, I had a first training. I couldn't do nothing. First week, I wasn't allowed to ride the bicycle, to do nothing, especially not running, jogging. But I was doing pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, neck exercise, and I like to do it, I can't imagine one day without training, and that's why that is why my body is in such a good shape, If I don't count mechanical injuries I had, I had problems with my knee, which was broken, with my ligaments that was broken, and tendons that was broken after so many fights and after so many trainings. But more or less, I'm very healthy man,
Is your son going to pursue a career in fighting?
I don't think so. He's a huge talent when we talk about physical potential, but everybody asks me because he's strong. He's enormously strong for his age. He is big. He's doing he can do 20 pull-ups. He can press almost. He's pressing. Last time I was with him, he pressed 95 kilograms in bench press. Wow. He still didn't turn 15. And he's not bench presser. I know there are kids. Who can do maybe more. Even more. But he is doing that 2 times a week. And he has good cardio, but talent is hidden in your head. The secret of success is the number of repeats. So you need to be hungry for training. And he likes to train, but not like I liked in his age. I was training in some old garage in my village, all alone, and I was discovering kicks. I had some old speedball, and without mechanism, so I couldn't do anything, with my hands. So I was just able to do high kicks. That's why I was doing 300 or 400 high kicks per training every day. Wow. That's how I developed my feeling for high kick. But he's not dying for training like me. But I guess it's normal. And he has, for example, he has. Go
ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was training in old garage from other side of the wall. We have pigs, My father had pigs, understand, and it was open from one side. So in the winter time, sometimes it was minus 15 Celsius, and it was very cold. But I was mad about training, and when you compare it with condition he has a big gym in his own house, because the whole basement is actually I made a house because of that gym. I wanted to have my private gym. It's a big gym. He has a judo Olympic winner on the training, Satoshi Ishii, training with me, 2 top heavyweight fighters, Sasha Milinkovic, Ante Delia, some other guys are coming, but can you imagine me in age of 15, in my village to have, judo gold medalist and some, top boxer of whoever, who can show you how to do first class conditioning for training, boxing bags, kicking bags, pads, but I think it's normal. I think it's life, I think it's life, and it is normal. I don't expect him. And to be honest, I wouldn't like him to be a fighter. I think it is hard to watch your own son fighting.
Yeah.
I think this is really hard.
You ever sit down with him and pop in an old tape from the Pride days, any of the great fights, and show him what his old man used to do back in the day 10 years ago?
No, he's big enough. He dig it out already on YouTube, and he's watching, and he knows every fight. He knows every fight I had, and you know how kids are today. We live in a modern age. Everybody has those smartphones, so he watch every night, those fights and etc. Whatever he wants, He can dig out everything on the YouTube or Google.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I can't imagine you being, his dad, and he gets to sit at home and watch the old footage from Pride and learn about, sort of like live it all again. I mean, it's so great that we have access to that stuff in this day and age, as opposed to 20 years ago when you have to find a tape or something like that. But by the way, you said that you don't want him to fight. What did your parents say to you when you told them that you wanted to fight?
Listen, I will not forbid him. If he wants to be a fighter, if he really wants to be a fighter, there is only one thing I can do, to help him as much as I can, And he will have the best possible trainer. But, deep inside of me, how can I watch my son bleeding and fighting, First of all, he doesn't need it, It was different situation with me, I was young guy, hungry, without future, and the only way to escape from the destiny that was smiling to me is to become a fighter and to become a good one, so I can secure my family in the future, And I did it. But he doesn't, I think he has his life is too good. He is not hungry, and honestly, I think if you want to success in a mixed martial arts or in a contact fighting sport, you need to be kind of hungry, That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. There is always be example that will show, but that will show that I'm not right. But it's only maybe one example. More or less, that's the pattern that repeats. Understand?
By the way, what was that destiny that was smiling at you before you became a fighter?
Well, most likely I will be some kind of worker or worker for monthly payment and etc. I wanted more. I just wanted more from life. That's it. That's it. I don't say, listen, I don't want this to turn into something negative. I don't want that people who didn't. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Of course. If you had your way, I know you've talked about wanting to fight Fedor. You were disappointed that you couldn't make it happen. Is that the dream fight for your farewell fight, or have you changed your mind? Have you thought about it now?
It would be. Well, listen, it would be perfect fight. Fedor is a true legend of the sport. One of the biggest, maybe the biggest MMA fighter ever. No matter, doesn't matter. He lost the fight against Mitrione at the beginning. Doesn't matter, Doesn't matter. He'll always be marked as one of the biggest, for me, the biggest MMA fighter of all time.
Do you feel a little?
I was very sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead. You were sorry to see him.
Yeah, I was sorry to see him, laying on the ground. Even Matt Mitrione is a really nice guy, and I was happy because of him. But at the same time, I was so sad because of Fedor.
Yeah. Do you worry about that? I mean, because towards the end of his career, he's had a lot of knockouts. He's been on the ground. When you watch that, does it make you think about yourself and the way that you want to leave?
Well, I think it is important way how you live sport, and his star won't shine less. Even he lost against Mitrione. Even him, I don't know how he will what kind of success he will make in this tournament of Bellator. Yeah. But I think, if you go from the sport with a loss, I think it leaves some kind of a bad taste in your own mouth. And a legend like him deserves to leave the sport with a victory. That's how I feel, at least.
By the way, how about your good friend Pat Barry and his girlfriend Rose becoming champion? Did you see that? Were you happy for them?
Yeah, of course. So I was so happy because of her, and she was in my house too in Zagreb. And when Pat came to spar with me, he brought Rose. She's such a nice person and such a humble girl, hard worker, and they came for a lunch in my house together. I was so happy because of her. She was so humble on that press conference. I saw everything, I watched her live, and I was so happy because of her. She's such a nice person, such a hard worker, and I was so happy because of her.
Yeah, it was amazing. By the way, you watch a lot of MMA? Do you keep up with, UFC and Bellator? Do you enjoy watching it a lot?
Not really, because, but, I received all information I need. There is MMA portals that I follow, and so I see the news and most of the fights, especially in UFC, it is at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sleeping at that time.
Right.
But I wake unless it is Stipe Miocic, I don't wake up to see it. But of course, I'm interested for results and etc.
That's your guy, Stipe, the fellow Croatian. Well, I'm happy to hear that you're sticking around, Mirko, and it's going to be great as always to see you compete in Japan December 31st. Rizin FF number 9. Mirko Cro Cop returns, and you heard it here. He'll be sticking around. And I know, Mirko, that you don't like to do a lot of interviews, so I always appreciate when you come on the show once a year or so to give us an update on where you're at. It means a lot.
I can't say no to you. You are such a nice guy and a true professional, and always more than correct. So I can't say no to you.
I appreciate that very much coming from you. Thank you, Mirko, and good luck on December 31st in Japan. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, there he is, the one and only Mirko Cro Cop, stopping by, returning to action against Tsuyoshi Kosaka on December 31st in Japan.